Hi everyone and welcome to JavaScript tutorials. From beginners to advanced. These tutorials are project-based. You have to practice them because if you don't, and if you miss a video, you might not understand what's going on. The first question you might have is, where are we going to code JavaScript? And what is JavaScript anyways? We're going to be using VS Code to code JavaScript. If you don't know what's that, I highly recommend you watching that video in our channel. You can download VS Code from code.visualstudio.com. When you enter the website, you can see the big giant blue download button and you can easily download it for Windows. If for some reason you can't access VS Code, you can use playcode.io, which is an online-based editor to code JavaScript. One of the benefits of using playcode.io is that you can actually choose the language that you're gonna code in inside the website. So for the sake of the video, we're gonna choose JavaScript, and it will create a script and HTML files for us right here. The second benefit that this site gives us is that we can have console and web view both on the same page at the same time. This means every change we apply to the code will appear right here in the web view and we don't have to refresh to visually see it. But I still recommend Visual Studio Code because it's more professional. Before we begin using the Visual Studio Code, we're going to be creating a folder so we can save our website in that folder. Here I'm going to name it Pixel. By right-clicking here under the JavaScript section, you can create a new file. To be able to write it, we need an HTML file. We can easily name it whatever we want to name it. For instance, here we name it main.html and the software automatically recognizes that as an HTML file. You don't need necessarily that HTML file to work with. You can create a new note with the notepad and start working with that. Now, we might need to understand how a script works. You can easily open the script tag, but at the end you have to also close it. Between these two tags, everything else stands, and any code that we put in JavaScript goes in between here. For instance, the easiest code that we're going to learn further in the video is console.log. And we can write anything we desire here in the section. For instance, I wrote hi pixel. To use this file, we have to add .html in the end by renaming the text document file. If you were not able to rename it like that, you can just open the document, go on files, save as, and save it as all files. Then add .html in the end and save it. When we open the HTML file, since we don't have any open tags, it's gonna show up as empty or blank. Now, if we open up Chrome Inspect, we're gonna see in the console section hi pixel, the tag that we just added there. In main HTML, if you want to create the main codes for HTML, meaning the basic ones that comes with it as default, you just type HTML5 and you click on that and you see the basic codes are applied to our software. Now, the script tag is opened and closed within the body tag. Just like that. There are two ways to go around with writing your script. You can write console like this within the two tags. Console.log actually allows you to print anything out of the system. If we right-click on the main HTML and open with live server, it actually opens the file and we can see everything that has just been worked on without needing to save it or refresh it or reload it or anything like that. Now, if your code is super long, you can actually create a JavaScript file next to or above the main HTML and just put .js in the end so that the software recognizes that as a JavaScript. Now you might be wondering, how can I link that JavaScript file with my main HTML file so every change that I do to my JavaScript will apply to the main HTML? To do that, we open a script, close the script, and in the details or next to the script opening tag, we add src. Remember, the src function will always be written in the script's opening tag, not the closing tag. Next step, you add dot in between the quotation marks and you can see the file appears just like that with a \javascript.js. Now our JavaScript file is successfully linked to our main HTML. Remember to use Ctrl S or Command S on Mac to save our work so far. Now, if we try out to use console.log in the JavaScript here, we see once we open the HTML file, it also appears on the console section of the HTML file. So we're sure that they are linked together. You may wonder, what are the best ways to use this script tag as best as possible? We have multiple tags within the body. For example, h1, p, pre, and others like img and etc. Now the best place to actually use the script tag is in the very end of the body tag, right here. It is highly recommended to use your script tag at the lowest part of the body tag, which is right above when the body is closing. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that short videos have better impacts, but I just wanted to introduce you to some basics of JavaScript, how it functions, what software we are going to be using, and much more to come. And again, remember, you need to practice coding both on computer and on paper to remember the basic functions. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe.